Chief Windstrom, who is here with us tonight. This month, he celebrates his 1-year anniversary on the job serving the people of Grand Rapids. It was also almost a year ago that Patrick Lyoya was tragically killed. A tragedy that has had a profound impact on our community, and one that has amplified our need for meaningful change. My heart continues to go out to the Lyoya family as they grieve the loss of their loved one. Chief, we are all so deeply grateful for you and your leadership this past year. Your ability to listen, build accountability, trust, and meaningful partnerships to ensure that Grand Rapids continues to be a safe place to live. So thank you. Some may think that public safety starts with our police chief, but he will be the first to tell you that he and the men and women of our department cannot do it alone. For too long, in too many places in our country, we have asked officers to try and shoulder a growing burden. We have asked them to fulfill their traditional roles of emergency response and enforce laws, while also expecting them to be social workers and mental health professionals. With support of our City Commission and numerous community partners, GRPD has worked tirelessly to expand and enhance our public safety toolkit. We began testing a new program last summer that pairs mental health professionals with police officers when they respond to some calls for service. So instead of sending people to jail or an emergency room, this innovative approach has helped an average of 85 people per month find more appropriate and effective care. That is 3 people a day guided to a better path by this program. These are encouraging results, but the city, again, we didn't do it alone. We continue to work closely with Kent County. I see Al Vandenberg in the back. Thank you for being here tonight, Al, and for your leadership. We work with the county and Network 180, and we value their partnership, and we hope to continue to expand this program. We'll build on this effort as a new crisis stabilization unit opens later this year, again in partnership with Network 180 and Trinity Health. This facility will provide additional support for people managing a mental health and substance use crisis. Important results stand out in other areas as well. In the first year, our Cure Violence initiative worked to prevent violence through nearly 3,000 engagements with young adults and families. Think about that, 3,000 occasions when a more proactive, compassionate, and relational approach interrupted the potential for violence before it occurred. The best response to violence is to stop it before it happens. We are now working to expand these evidence-based violence prevention efforts in other parts of our city. And again, thank you. I'm going to ask you to clap again in a moment as I call out our key partners in this space. I see Eric in the back, because we are really grateful for our partnership with the Urban League and their incredible network of community leaders that help make this program a success. So thank you to the Urban League. Our Project Clean Slate program helped expunge the criminal records of over 500 people who deserved a fresh start. That's 500 Grand Rapidians in just the past year who now have a second chance to gain access to a better job, a place to live, or an educational opportunity. We established the Office of Public Oversight and Accountability in 2020 with the goal of elevating community voice and oversight in public safety operations. Brandon Davis, where's Brandon? Can I see him? There you are. Thank you. Brandon Davis. Thank you for being here and all your work. Brandon Davis continues to do tremendous work leading this effort, and I am so proud to say that the role of the office is now included in the city's collective bargaining agreements with our Grand Rapids firefighters and our Grand Rapids Police Officers Association. So what does that mean? That means that for the first time, the city's labor contracts with public safety professionals now includes significant oversight language that serves to increase accountability and more directly and intentionally support our goals for community-oriented policing. While change is slow and often messy, representation matters. We are working together. We are figuring it out and building a system that is better designed to keep all of us safe, especially the most vulnerable among us. This takes time, and I know there is a lot more work to do, but we're only going to get there with all of us because it takes all of us. I am also proud of the progress that we are making to grow and develop our housing system. So I mentioned last year that we are and continue to be in a housing crisis because we have more people than homes, and our population is growing fast. So our goal is to support building more homes for everyone at all income levels. A recent study tells us that to meet this need, this community-wide need, we must build 14,000 homes by 2027. That is 2,800 homes a year for the next 5 years. To put that number in kind of a little bit more clear perspective, it is the equivalent of roughly 580 blocks of traditional neighborhood housing. Think 580 more blocks of housing like we see on the near West Side or Garfield Park or Creston by 2027. A skeptical media headline wondered, can it be done? Those skeptics. I actually believe that it can be done, but we must have realistic expectations. We have a lot of work to do. There's a lot that we need to do, and we need to have a great sense of urgency. And of course, the city does not build housing. We need our private and nonprofit home developers, many who are in the room tonight. We need to work with them closely, and we are doing all that we can at the city to promote an environment where residential development can thrive. The city last year permitted construction of nearly 800 homes, condos, and apartments. That's close to the equivalent of about 31 blocks of traditional neighborhood housing. It's good progress, but we need more. Encouragingly, the city so far this year has already approved more than 400 homes for construction, well ahead of last year's pace. And we currently have more than 1,000 affordable homes and apartments in the development pipeline. So that's the equivalent of about another 58 blocks of traditional housing. 490 more blocks to go. So of course, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that our intent is to sprawl out over the land. The reality is we don't have a lot of vacant land left in the city. We are largely built out. So that alone will not get us there. we need to go up. Like the 16-story residential tower rising on the top of the parking garage at Studio Park in Hartside. This building is changing our skyline, and we need more like it to truly change and grow our housing system. We need to look at every vacant or underused property across our city as a housing opportunity. Right, Commissioner O'Connor? Like the 17 apartments that will soon rise on the vacant lot across the street from Creston Brewery. Long overdue. I know, agree. Just a few blocks away, we have 110 more apartments now over at the construction site for the Lofts on Grove. This is more housing on another previously underutilized piece of land. The next neighborhood over, we have 52 more apartments going up in Belknap. On the southeast end, 45 more apartments going up on an underdeveloped lot. Together with the private and nonprofit sectors, we are steadily working to address our housing crisis, one development at a time, across our entire city. And it's not just apartments for young professionals and students. Everyone needs and deserves a place to live and call home. I am encouraged to see new affordable housing options for our senior citizens about to break ground in the Madison area and the Southeast community. I am especially excited about the innovative Hope Village project, which will deliver 16 tiny homes that provide new opportunities for people to work their way out of homelessness. Housing is the solution to homelessness. Housing. In 2021, our city organized the Affordable Housing Fund. In 2022, we seeded the fund with $5 million. Those will be dispersed yet this year for meaningful and important projects. This year, we will grow that fund by another $10 million. Together with another $9 million from the state of Michigan, thank you to our state partners, we are growing our capacity to bring more low-income and affordable housing to our community. And housing affordability is also a priority for our partners at the county. So thank you, our county commissioners who are here tonight. They recently established a revolving housing fund, and they seeded it with more than $17 million. Thank you, Commissioner Wooden. Our partnership with the county also helped us start Housing Kent, led by the talented and amazing Eureka people. And we are focused on building a system for housing stability for all in Kent County. We are also working closely with our state legislators, many who are in Lansing working on this housing package right now, to develop additional tools that will help us support low-income and affordable housing. They too recognize the urgency of this crisis, and they are finding ways to support our efforts. This housing crisis has our top attention, and together we are working to build a system that works for all Grand Rapidians, no matter where they fall on the housing stability spectrum or what their need is. And while our landscape and skyline continue to change, the city is also focused on facilitating grassroots neighborhood economic growth. We are on a city building journey, and few things signal that we're headed in a promising direction, more than what we now see happening in our neighborhood business districts. We are seeing an explosion of entrepreneurship across our city. Locally owned coffee shops, restaurants, unique boutiques, butchers, and other services. More and more small businesses are opening, and they build upon the established neighborhood businesses that we all love so much. And they're adding energy and appeal. Eric Davis, this past winter, started So if you haven't gone there, you should, because Eric David this past winter started Last Mile Cafe on Hall Street in the 49507 neighborhood where he grew up. Paula Carlson recently opened Pochi's, our very first Colombian cafe in Hartside. Javier, I saw you there. Javier Olvera is organizing to renovate an old building into a new grocery store in the Roosevelt Park neighborhood. Chris Wesley recently opened Noodle Pig Ramen Shop in North Monroe. Monsoon Vietnamese opened downtown. Black Napkin opened in East Hills. And Sip Coffee and Cocktails in Alger Heights. These and numerous other neighborhood businesses, they reflect and amplify our community's rich diversity, culture, and creativity. And it's not all about coffee, beer, food, and hospitality. There is significant energy in non-retail sectors as well. Footwear maker Holo moved from Portland to Grand Rapids, citing, yes, we should clap for that. And they did it citing our talented workers and our attractive environment for growth. Startups like Iris Innovations, they are driving innovation in artificial intelligence and growing their presence right here in Grand Rapids. Manufacturer Gentex is opening a facility in Grand Rapids. We are so excited to welcome them to the Madison Square neighborhood. We recently saw the grand opening of The Bridge, a highly anticipated incubator space located at the Doug Meyer Innovation Building within the Michigan State University Innovation Park. This pace of business activity is a remarkable signal that our community is a great place to invest and increasingly full of opportunity. Just as our growing businesses reflect our entrepreneurial spirit, so do our parks and Grand River reflect the quality of life in our community. And the quality of these outdoor spaces, just like public safety and housing and our local economy, are key drivers influencing people's health and their comfort and their happiness. Our parks provide places to play and gather for children and families and social groups of all ages and economic status. I am so proud of the continued investment the city has made to steadily improve our neighborhood parks. We successfully completed nearly 20 park improvements last year. We have new pickleball courts in Belknap. We have, I know some of you pickleball lovers love that. That's not all. If you love laying in a hammock, we added a hammock grove over in Briggs Park, bathroom and splash pad upgrades at Garfield Park, more space for dogs, all my dog lovers, at Hillcrest Park, a new and improved place to watch the sunset from Sunset Sweet Street Park. The city this past year acquired nearly 30 acres of property to build new parks, and a majority of that land is in the 3rd Ward. The Third Ward is a part of our community that has historically lacked access to quality parks that so many others in other neighborhoods enjoy. We are going to fix that. We will. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Moody. My partners in the Third Ward, Commissioners Moody and Perdue, thank you. We are going to push forward another round of steady improvements this year, and I am especially excited and looking forward to building a brand new MLK Park Lodge. Also, the addition of a new park right here in Roosevelt Park neighborhood. Yes. And a complete transformation of the alley on the east side of the Van Andel Arena. So those dumpsters, I know, we should clap for that. So those dumpsters some of you are fond of, those dumpsters full of garbage, they will soon go away. And that alley will become a linear park with outdoor space and more places for people to gather. Finally tonight, I want to highlight our ongoing effort to reconnect two of our community's greatest assets, our people and our river. So last year, can't believe it was a year ago, I stood before you and I declared that we had a big year ahead of us, a big year for our campaign to revitalize our entire Grand River corridor. That prediction proved generally true, with a few unexpected turns, to be totally honest. You may have heard about the current back and forth between the city, our partners with Grand Rapids Whitewater, the state, and our federal departments. So one thing I have learned, and I have learned a lot since serving our amazing city, but one thing I have learned is not to let the news of the day determine how we view our long-term success. With the complicated work that we are doing, oftentimes it is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. My good friend Bobby Hopewell, former mayor of Kalamazoo, he knows this just as much as I do. Thanks for being here, my friend. So although we chose to withdraw our current permit applications to remove dams from our river, I assure you that work is underway to resubmit a modified design that is acceptable and supported by all. So just as you can count on the Grand River flowing to Lake Michigan, you can count on our efforts to achieve a design that meets many of our initial objectives and delivers a transformational project for our entire community. When this entire project is completed, not just the first phase, but the entire project, when it is completed, I believe we will have Rapids back in Grand Rapids. I want to take this opportunity to thank all those who have given so much of their time and their resources to this effort over the last decade. And I applaud them for not giving up. We do not give up in this city, do we? We are going to figure this out. And I see many of you in the room today, and I know there was disappointment. And I appreciate you staying at the table and not giving up. Because we expect to have a project permit in hand by the end of this year. And we anticipate work to begin next year in 2024. Yes, thank you. Now, I realize those of you tracking this project have heard next year for at least the last 5 years. I get that. I can also tell you, I know that you are tired of hearing it. And I will tell you, I am tired of saying it. But I want to assure you that we really are closer to starting work in the river now more than ever before. We are going to get there. So, other things about the river that are exciting. We were pleasantly surprised last year when the state of Michigan awarded significant funding, $55 million, to grow the Grand River Greenway in Grand Rapids and Kent County. That means, yes. So what that means is that the riverfront parks and trail projects that we aim to get done over the next 10 or 15 years will now happen much, much faster. You will start to see significant riverfront construction and change later this year at Lions Square and the Grand Rapids Public Museum. I think I saw Dale in the house somewhere. Where is he? Not that Dale. We have two great Dales at least in the room. So we also will have major riverfront improvements that will follow at Canal and Anabuin parks. We will close a critical 1-mile gap in the riverfront trail system adjacent to our Creston neighborhood. I know. And organizing to build the exciting outdoor riverfront amphitheater. They continue to move forward. I know, where's the clap for that? It's amphitheater. Brad, I thought you would say We appreciate Progressive and Brad for all his work on this. And something I am absolutely committed to. We will start a very important community conversation about how we meaningfully connect our southeast side of our community to the Grand River. The 3rd Ward, yes. Our 3rd Ward is separated from the river and the broader regional trail system by political boundaries, the 131 highway, and significant gaps in the trail network. We see promising opportunities to blaze new connections and address these legacy inequities, working together with incredible neighborhood and community leaders. These investments have a significant impact on our entire community and everyone who lives not just in those neighborhoods, but who lives across our community. Better parks, recreation, trails, our river, peaceful places to relax, and connectedness, genuine connectedness throughout our city contributes in a positive way to better physical and mental health, and truly enhances our overall quality of life. These are essential elements of a flourishing city. Now, I fully understand that we live in contentious and divisive times. But there is no problem that we cannot solve here in Grand Rapids. And there is no opportunity that we can't seize. We are on a journey together, a journey to build a vibrant, welcoming city for all. We have come a long way, and we have built real momentum. And yet there is real complexity in the work that we are doing and what we are trying to accomplish. From policing to housing, to our local economy, and our environment. We are genuinely working to address root causes of issues that have simmered under the surface for generations. Now, we're not doing it by hastily pushing top-down solutions. We are working to build from the bottom up, our community coming together, shaping real solutions that actually work in our local context. We're working to build consensus for fundamental, long-term, lasting change. And that takes time. But I am motivated and energized about the direction that our community is headed. There are so many positive things happening. We are making significant progress, and we are doing it by listening to each other, respecting each other, learning, and working together. We are keeping our sights and ambitions high, and we are increasingly powered by a diversity of thought, experience, people, and voice. Our accomplishments are real, and they have a real impact on people's lives. And they are right in front of us as we look around our entire city, and they inspire us to do more. I look forward to continuing our city building work together with all of you over this next year. And I am incredibly grateful for your partnership and your support. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight as we reflect on our city, the state of our city together. So thank you so much, and have a good night.